Efi Oladele. I've probably totally butchered the name, but she is not the next hero, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Stylosa, and this is Unit Lost. And by now, you've probably seen this post on the Overwatch blog. Go there and read it if you haven't. It is linked below. Now, what this is the beginning of a new sort of story arc, or the introduction of new lore, which will lead up to the launch of a new hero. However, this is not the hero. The reason for this is, well, it's an 11-year-old girl. Blizzard are never, ever, ever going to put a child into their game, because that would completely screw the game's rating up. Because can you imagine playing Soldier 76 and absolutely murdering an 11-year-old child with a Helix rocket to the face? It's never going to happen. So get that idea right out of your head. However, there are some bits of interesting kind of teasers in this post, and I guess we can go into detail on those. So she's a child inventor, and she has won the Genius Grant from the S-ATAIII Foundation. Now, this obviously is a ton of money, because it's a grant. That's what grants are. They're loads of money to go and spend on whatever the hell you want to work on. So what's interesting about this? Well, in the article it says, how did you get into robots and artificial intelligence? And she goes on to say, well, I've always been interested. After my mom and dad got me my first robotics kit, I became obsessed with putting together little drones. Remember that, drones? When I started to get good at it, I tried to build robots to do my chores and help around the house. My parents think it's cheating. It's no fair. So, okay, she builds drones. She's built drones and she's built robots, right? Remember that. And it goes on then to say, it's amazing what you've been able to accomplish at your age. How did you do it? And she says, well, I'm not sure. That's great. But then there's a little bit more information. Speaking of which, do you have any plans for what you're going to do with your grant? New computer? College tuition? And she says, oh, I have an idea. So possibly she's going to spend it on her latest creation, whatever that could be. And then they say, no hint. It's a secret for now, but my parents are taking me on a trip to celebrate. It'll be my first time flying, so I can't wait. Okay, so we've got Efi, and she is in Numbani. She's just won a competition for a grant, and she's a genius, and she builds robots. She does not build Omnics. This is what we've got to make the distinction here. There is no mention of Omnics. She's not building Omnic intelligence or anything like that. She's building a robot, and she builds drones. So what could that mean? And remember, this is an 11-year-old girl. It's not going to be on the battlefield getting killed. So the first theory I have got is she is some sort of hero which controls drones off the battlefield. So if there is a large robot, like I want this robot tank, it's like I've always wanted this, like a massive robot tank, kind of like Reinhardt, right? But like a massive robot version of this that is controlled off-site. So it's kind of like a Predator drone, sort of what the US military use now, and I think a couple of other militaries use them around the world, where they're controlled off-site, right? The drone does the work, the controller is nowhere to be seen. That's one way of getting around this issue of child murder, because Blizzard are not going to have child murder in their game. The other way of looking at this is she's actually nothing to do with that anyway, and she just ends up creating the hero because she's going to spend her grant on materials to build the hero. But why does it say about the it's her first time flying? What does that mean? Well, there is an airport terminal in Numbani. In fact, it's the attacker's spawn. What that potentially could hint is that, well, I guess it could hint to that something is going to happen at the terminal. Maybe this could be where the animated short begins. Maybe this confirms the animated short is going to take place in Numbani. The problem is there is not that much information in this post. All we know is this new character has been introduced. She's a child genius. Her name is Efi Oladele, and I've completely butchered her surname. I'm just going to call it Efi. And she builds drones and robots. So yeah, and she's got a grant to build potentially a better drone and robot, which could potentially be the next Overwatch hero. Now, of course, this doesn't answer why the gauntlet, the Doomfist gauntlet container has been destroyed, and it also doesn't really give us any further information, to be honest. It just hints at a drone kind of controller, maybe a summoner style hero. That could be pretty interesting. You know, think Necromancer from Diablo 2, if any of you guys played that. Yeah, there's potential for that. Anyway, that's all there is, guys, to this. There will be more updates coming in the next couple of days, I'd imagine. What I would look out for, though, is this time next week, another major update, whether that is some sort of animated short or some sort of major lore reveal, because generally what Blizzard do is they announce these things on the blog, and then a week later, something crazy happens. Whether that's a new hero on PTR, we don't know. But you've got to remember as well, the Overwatch competitive season finishes today, so there is a week of downtime. So it'd be pretty weird, I think, for suddenly a new hero to pop up up as soon as the competitive season comes back. But hey, Blizzard have done crazier things. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Stylosa, and this is Unit Lost. So yeah, we're finally getting the ball rolling on what the new hero is actually going to be, and it is not this girl. I cannot believe for 1 second it will be Efi. She's too young. She cannot be on the battlefield. It would be ridiculous. If she's off the battlefield controlling some sort of contraption, then yeah, maybe she could be seen as the hero, but I don't think that's going to be the case. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Stylosa, and this is Unit Lost. If you enjoyed the video, then like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you on the next one. Toodaloo.